You actually are in Walnut Creek right now, my old stomping grounds, Northgate High School. You have decided to join the Walnut Creek Ignite, a G League team. Jarrett, why are you in Walnut Creek?
Well, the opportunity presented itself, and I thought that was the best opportunity I had as far as me coming through and being able to showcase my talent and my ability, and also a good way to help these young players kind of with the learning curve of what to expect.
High school kids now have three options, right? College, Europe, or the G League. How does the G League rank among those three options?
Well, I think all of them have pros that could be beneficial, but the G League, you're actually working with NBA personnel. You're getting used to the style, the language, and the demands of actually what an NBA player is like. So I think that in itself is how it's unique. And then also, the number one thing, man, you're actually getting compensated, while you do so. I think they've started a pretty good thing here, basically creating their own farm system.
But in some ways, Jarrett, does that provide false incentive for a high school kid who has professional aspirations but doesn't quite have the game? He's foregoing college experience for a false dream.
Well, to be honest, I mean, you can find out that your game doesn't measure up at a lot of points. You can go to college for 4 years and think that you're a pro ball player. Obviously, you have the college degree to fall back on. But one of the things that I've been heard has been negotiated in a lot of these high school kids' contract is that the G League pays for them to go to college for 4 years. So having that package deal while you still get an on-job, on-course experience for what's to come in your near future, I think it's kind of a no-brainer.
That's a great perspective. You went to Georgia Tech. If you had this option, what would you do?
What would I do? Oh, asking an 18-year-old Jarrett Jack, what would I do? To be honest, man, I probably would jump at the opportunity, even though college was super beneficial for me. I learned how to become a pro in college. Certain nuances of how to lead, how to work together, fight for a common goal. Those are all things I learned throughout my college experience.
I was looking at your resume, Jarrett. Off the top of your head, can you name all the teams you played for in the NBA?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Portland, Indiana, Toronto, New Orleans, Golden State, Cleveland, Brooklyn, and then the Knicks.
Quite a career. Warriors fans know you well, Jarrett. Maybe the pinnacle of your career was your year spent in Oakland. Take me back to that season. Could you sense something special emerging with the Warriors?
Yeah. I remember my first couple days in training camp, and I called my agent, and I said, man, this is the most talent I've ever been around. And he was kind of shocked for me to say so. And I'm like, nah, man, they have some guys here that can really, really play. Steph, Clay, David Lee. This is when Andrew Bogut was coming back. Myself, Brandon Rush. We had a rookie version of Draymond Green, a rookie Kent Bazemore. And just from top to bottom, I said, man, there's a lot of guys that can contribute in a lot of ways. Once we started rolling and kind of getting the synergy and the chemistry together, I was like, man, if they keep building with all this stuff and no contract stuff or the economics of the game don't get involved, man, they could build something special here.
Looking down at this jersey, man, it's just a sense of pride that I don't think I've ever felt as a professional. And nothing in my closet is better than what I have on now.
Why did you leave the Warriors, Jarrett?
I mentioned that the economics of basketball. I was a free agent, and I had to, I personally wanted to stay. I think everybody knows that, but I had a bigger offer that, I had to jump at. Somebody gave me a raise at my job. That's kind of basically how you equate it. I had to jump at the opportunity, man, try to secure myself financially with my family, my now son, my fiance, and all that kind of stuff. So, I had to do what I had to do.
That's the degree in business management coming out on you, Jarrett.
I guess so, man. I guess so.
Yeah. Hey, after Steph Curry won his first MVP, He gave you a shout out.
The leader I learned from the most, probably Jarrett Jack had a big influence on me when he was here.
How did that make you feel, and what influence did you have on Steph Curry?
Crazy enough, I've never ever watched the speech. People told me about it. And, you know, at that point, I believe we were a year or two removed from being teammates. So I was just shocked. I never went into practice or games or whatever and said, it's my duty to get Steph to be whatever. Like, I was a fan of him as a person. I was a fan of his game. And I wanted the team to do great. I think I would do things with the team in mind. The biggest compliment I always thought somebody could ever say to anyone in team sports is, you are a great teammate. Even to this day, I've never said anything to him about it, but it was unbelievable, man. Just with, you know, just to hear what some people, they put in words how they think of you in some areas.
Well, clearly you were a leader by example. Jarrett, 2 years ago, you were still going strong. You recorded your first triple-double. And then things, health-wise, problems started setting in. But you're still capable of being that player who recorded a triple-double. Is that the goal here in Walnut Creek?
Yeah, you know, on the back end of my career, I battled some injuries, and I believe if those injuries weren't the case, I probably would still, you know, be in the league at this particular point. And then, you know, some teams haven't seen me in a while just in person, and I think this opportunity, kind of getting them to see me firsthand, and me getting out there, being able to show them that I still can contribute, I still can play.
Walnut Creek, you're in the Warriors' backyard. You think you're on the radar?
I hope so. You know, I watched them play last night, and just watching my guys, man, watching Draymond, watching Kent, Steph, looking at Bob Myers and a whole host of others. I believe I could help in some areas. You know, their bench, you know, I think they could use some help as far as scoring is concerned. Just let them know, man, if they come calling, man, I'm around and I'm ready to go.
Hey, Jarrett, if it doesn't work out, inevitably, eventually, you're going to be in TV. You know that.
Everybody tells me that they believe whether I'm going to be in TV or be on the sideline coaching somewhere. So whichever one I try my hand at when I've done this thing, honestly, the biggest part of it, I want to learn the craft. I don't think just being inserted into it. I have too much respect for what you guys do and what these coaches do to try to think I can just do it off of, you know, as soon as my playing days are over. So, you know, maybe you can give me a crash course, or maybe I'll be somebody's understudy and they'll be able to fill me in properly.
When COVID is over, you're welcome to come in the studio. I'll put you on set. You can do a sportscast. How do you like that?
Perfect. That works for me.
Hey, 2013, I asked you about your massive shoe collection.
Is it true you have 5,000 pairs of shoes?
I don't know if it's that many, but I have a lot.
You still got that?
You know what, man? Over the course of this pandemic, I've kind of been purging my shoe collection. Mm-hmm. And not to say that it's still not plentiful, but for me, it had got to a point where the collection had grown so much that now you kind of just have it in abundance for the sake of just doing it. I've been donating, I've been passing shoes out, I've been sending them all over. So just trying to trim it down to the ones that really, really matter. But yes, it's still very much in effect for sure.
Well, Jarrett, I sincerely appreciate the time. Great interview. And hopefully, Jarrett, selfishly speaking, we see you on the court near us, possibly the Chase Center.
I hope so, man. Thank you. Thanks for having me.